for a minute. Today is a really important day, International Women's Day in Atlanta. Such a thing didn't exist that many years ago, and we certainly didn't have a celebration of women like this, but for two beautiful women. There's truly no place in the world that I'd rather be, and no tribe that I want to be a part of other than this one. So I'm both grateful and elated to be here today. I want to tell you something. There was a time not so many weeks ago where some folks was third. And they started withdrawing invitations that they had made months ago. And I got a text from these two beautiful women, and they said, we don't give a damn what they're talking about. We know we need it. That's how that text message went. So this year's theme for International Women's Day is Invest in Women if you want to accelerate progress. And my theme is Courageous Women. How many of you know that if you expect progress to be achieved or accelerated, it has always, somebody say always, required courageous women?
Amen.
The first two courageous women I want to acknowledge are Miss Ladora Miltier and Miss Sakara Johnson.
Woo!
They came through, and these absolutely gorgeous women, they were like all of you. They had watched the newscasts. They had read the newspapers. They had seen their district attorney call every single thing but a child of God. And at the height of all that bullshit, all the time you said, these two strong women said, we don't care nothing about it. You are the woman that we want to honor, and we respect the role you're walking. They said, we know your heart, but more importantly, we know the work that you've done to continue to keep this community safe. We know how you fight to keep our children out of gangs. We know that you're the only district attorney in this country that has a program that runs all year long in the school system with children. We know about your book bag drive that puts 2,000 to 3,000 book bags in kids' hands. We know about the Thanksgiving drive, the Christmas drive, all the things that a DA doesn't traditionally do that you make sure get done every day. So we don't care what they're talking about. But most of all, we know that you're a fighter for justice, and that as long as one is fighting for justice, attacks are to be expected, and we pay them no mind. So two courageous people, I want y'all to stand for these two women that make these days possible. So let them know how not only make me smile and warm my heart, but it makes me real proud to be part of their tribe. A tribe of strong women, made up of every color, every ancestry, every creed, every socioeconomic status. I'm proud to be part of this tribe. So I do not think profounder words have ever been written than if you are interested in progress, you better invest in women. Now, ladies, I don't want y'all to get confused because she loves chocolate brother. You might have learned.
Oh! Yeah! Yes! Keep it up!
I love a meeting that's not made by good common sense leaders. I have a profound understanding that God blesses the child who has their own hearing. So I always have, and I always will. I understand that we right now in history have lots of men boasting and advocating a thing that it would be good for women to change back to yesteryear. They won't lead to greater years.
Oh no, girl.
What they are advocating for. They want women to sign up to go back in time to a time where women had no rights and people of color were thought less than. So me, my mama, my auntie, my daughter, we gonna pass on that invitation. These folks are not interested in going forward. In fact, they boast of going backwards. Those same men want to erase history and take books away. So we don't realize that the time of the past is not where we were celebrated, and it's not where we should go. That we must forge ahead to achieve and to accelerate progress. As women, we are going to have to decide, do we want leadership that sexualizes women?
Hell no.
Leadership that degrades women?
Hell
Do
no.
we want women, do we want leadership that glorifies or makes normal sexual assaults on women?
Hell no.
Or do we want women in leadership?
Hell yeah.
Leadership that put women as their equal and by their side?
Hell yeah.
The decision is, great men have always accomplished things with great women by their side. Great men have always understood that the place of a woman is the place where decisions are made, not in the back room being victimized. Oh yeah, I said it.
Oh.
I am here today to discuss why you must support women. Do I got any women candidates in the room? Please say it. Do you know their website where you can donate money to where you can support them? If that support is a prayer, then make it a prayer. If that support is a phone call, then make it a phone call. If that support is an email chain, then email. But get off your ass and do something.
Yes.
I am here today to discuss why you must support these women if you want an environment that is inclusive and safe for women. So today we're going to talk a little bit about me. We're going to talk a little bit about our collective history. We're going to talk a little bit of Fannie of the past and Fani in the present. Because both those women are nightmares for those that want to go back.
Woo.
What I need you to understand as I speak is Fani is not just me, but all of you. Let me start by telling you why it is so important for women to be in places where important decisions are made. One of my favorite biblical stories that always motivates me is Esther. Many of you know the quote, "You were born for a time such as this." But do you know the story of Esther? Do you know that Esther was a beautiful queen whose life had some heartache and some lessons? You know this because if you pay attention to the biblical text, it tells you that she's being raised by her uncle because both of her parents are dead. If you know the biblical text, you know she was not the first wife of the king. If you know her story, she becomes the queen after the first wife is gotten rid of. Her husband, the king, had befriended a man by the name of Haman. Haman was rich, he was powerful, and he was a racist man. Sound like anyone you know? Oh, oh yeah, I said it. Haman was filled with hate. You might recognize his characteristics in some modern day politicians. I'm just saying. He was also a great persuader. In fact, he persuaded the king to do evil things. Much like some modern day politicians today are able to persuade many to throw away common decency. He goes to the king and he convinces him on a date, certain, that her mom's group should be allowed to kill the Jews and not be punished for such behavior. He's persuaded by Haman, this king. Esther fasts for 3 days and prays. How many of you know that fast and prayer will change things? See, Esther, his wife, is a courageous woman. She goes and calls her to the king. And if you don't know your Bible, that may get lost on you. To go to your king uncalled for is a punishment that you can get death for. But she has the courage to go forward anyway. And she plans to feast. See, she knew how to make a sandwich. And the feast, her and the man are able to convince the king that it was not proper to kill the Jews. And instead, the Jews go on to live, to thrive, and to prevail. All based on the courage of Esther. But for her courage, the world is a different place. Courageous women have been bringing safety to multitudes since biblical times. So my name is Fani. It's a Swahili name. In Swahili, it means purpose. Swahili is a language that is born in East Africa and is spoken in 14 different African countries. In the language Swahili, I's are often pronounced as they would be in English as an E. Some of y'all are familiar with the name Nia, N-I-A. You don't realize that you're speaking Swahili and that the I in Nia is pronounced like an E. Nia means purpose. I named my firstborn that. Recently, I listened to one butcher my name in an attempt to insult me. The idiots, they called me Fanny, thinking that that was something that would sexualize me. See, they were into sexualizing women. They thought that's what they were doing to me. And in fact, in a crowd of like-minded people, they thought that that was something that was funny, the sexualization of the district attorney. They didn't understand the last laugh was on me. See, I'm able to read and write. I don't care what they want to do with books. And see, I know my history and the power of a name. They're going to learn today. Recently, I was literally caused to laugh out loud as I listened to several idiots on conservative radio tell how the media had decided to pronounce my name as Fani to make me sound more sophisticated. I thought y'all so damn stupid. Half the time, the media doesn't pronounce my name correctly because the correct pronunciation is Fani because the name is Swahili. But the great irony of these many idiots as I listen to them call my name as Fanny in an effort to put me down or humiliate me is Fanny is someone I would love to be remembered by. I would love to be remembered by the brilliance and the courage and the strength of Fannie Lou Hamer. We are not destroying books and telling lies. They better hope I don't have Fannie Lou Hamer's fighting spirit. They better hope that 5'2" women ain't like this 5'2" woman. They better hope that I don't command a room in the way she was able to. They better hope that in 1971, the year I was born, and the year she started the National Women's Political Caucus, it was not God just passing the baton. You know, God has a way of using one to start his mission and another to finish it. You know the history of the great Fannie Lou Hamer? Some of us, through our shameful educational systems, do not teach her story. Let me tell it today briefly. She was born in 1917. She was the last of 20 children. Her stature was 5'2". 60 years ago, in 1964, she gave one of the greatest speeches of all time, telling the truth of how when she went to vote, they did everything to stop her. They used white men in uniform and authority to terrorize her. Throughout her life, and in an attempt to stop what they could stop, a woman of power and courage continued to prevail. They find the bus that she was on, get this, y'all, because it was the wrong color yellow. They gave her a literacy test, but she failed twice and came back on the third time and passed. They called and terrorized her and called her a nigga and threatened everyone she knew and loved so many times they learned to take the phone off the hook. They shot at her house. A white doctor forced a hysterectomy on her so her children, she could not have children, so they adopted children. These things they did for her demise. When she gave her famous speech in 1964, President Lyndon Johnson was so afraid that he started a press conference at the same time so nobody would be paying attention. How many of y'all know how my God works? They didn't play it at that time. They played it over and over and over again. Her message could not be stopped. How many of y'all know that she is one of our greatest civil rights pioneers? How many of you are teaching your children her legacy and her sacrifice so we could all be in this room together? She once said, I guess if I had any sense, I'd have been a little scared. But what was the point of being scared? The only thing they could do was kill me. And I kind of felt like they've been trying to do that a little bit since the time I could remember. They better hope I ain't standing.
Woo!
She died, and since she was died, she's been given more awards, and her name still rings out today. How many of y'all know we don't know not one of those men in authority's names? God will not let greatness be quelled. So there's a 5'2" sister in Atlanta. And in the spirit of Fannie Lou Hamer, let me tell you, there are no disparaging words. There are no threats. There are no men in places of authority that are going to be able to stop Lady Justice. Because no one is above or below the law. I was walking in just this week to the courthouse, and a good friend of mine saw me walking in. I got to tell y'all, I was a little embarrassed. I had to come from working out. Hair wasn't combed. Had a sweatshirt on. But I had not seen him in a year, and so we hugged. And I apologized for my appearance. Now, despite what they tell you, my friends come in all shades and colors of all political parties. My friend's a judge now. We've known each other since we came to the district attorney's office back in 2001. He is a white man and a diehard Republican. When he saw me with sincerity, he asked, Fani, are you okay? And I said, I'm good. He should be getting fine on y'all. And then he asked what I believe to be a genuine concern. He said, do you regret running for DA? I was literally shocked at the question. I am sure I looked at him like he was crazy. I said, are you kidding? I'm the best DA this county's ever had.
Woo!
95% conviction rate. Crime is down 23%. We're cracking down on gangs. I got gang members on the phone talking about, better go to that shit in the gang. Community and the law enforcement alike. I run the only year-long program in the school system where we are keeping children out of gangs. No, I don't regret running for DA. I love this county. Food needs me, and I need food. Let me tell you how much I don't regret it. Wednesday, I went and re-up. I want 4 more people.
Yeah! Years. 4 more years.
Understand, I come from the history of Fannie Lou Hamer. The insults don't deter me, they motivate me. See, Lyndon Johnson trying to suppress Fannie's speech didn't suppress it. He counterpulted her. The attacks on me have done the same. More know my name in March of 2024 than did in December of 2023.
Woo-hoo!
No matter what they do, God has his hand on my life. And I got my hand on him. I and resilience because it lives in me. I hope they know her ancestors' veins run in my veins. I hope they know that her courage is something that I aspire to be. I hope every day they call her name, they understand for a black woman, threats and lies will never deter our work. I hope they know I don't care what they say or do. I'm going to still be standing here doing what is right for my community. Ladies, I need you to embrace your inner Fannie Lou Hamer. I need you to vote for every woman on the ballot or man that has sense enough to put a woman in his cabinet in a role of leadership. You also have to show your leadership teams and how committed they are to women and the advancement of women. We can no longer go on thinking it is okay for men to celebrate the abuse, the sexualization of women. It is unacceptable. Let me tell you why this is so important. Recently, I was reading a Yale Law Review article. I told you I read. And I was quite disgusted as I read it. It talked about how for years, rape was the only crime on the books that required corroboration. Cooperation would have to come in form of another witness or something else. A woman saying a man raped her could never be enough. Now I need y'all to really pay attention. Robbery, that would have been enough. Burglary, that would have been enough. Kidnapping, that would have been enough. It was just a crime that could be committed against women. They had for years on the books that you needed cooperation. And this law stood for many, many years. Why is it that this is the only crime that needed cooperation? The answer is simple. Women were not in the places where the laws were being made. They weren't in positions of power. And men, of course, had an incentive to making this particular crime harder to prove. See, they don't want you to know that history. They want you to repeat it. They hope you're not reading. They want you to not vote for people that will make sure when a woman is testifying in a courtroom, disrespecting her is an acceptable norm. They want a two-class system. Women must be in all, somebody repeat all rooms where important decisions are being made. Or you can expect laws like this rape law will rear its ugly head again. Oh, come on, D.A. Willis, that seems remote to me. Aren't you overreacting just a little? Well, let's talk about it. How remote is it? Or are we standing in a time when you are being asked to vote for sexual assaulters? Are we standing in a time where you've been being asked to vote for men that are comfortable disrespecting women? Are we standing in a time where they ask you to stand for people who want to impact your reproductive rights? Not the woman and her husband, strangers. By the way, the same men that would give you 10 cents to help you with your children, or pass a law that would benefit you and your children. No matter what you are told, from biblical times of Esther to 60 years ago with Fannie Lou Hamer, to the current day Mayor Franklin, to the King Williams, or how about our incomparable Vice President, a fellow Vice Kamala Harris, who I have never had the pleasure of meeting but commend. They want you to not see the beauty and the brilliance in the Ladors and the Sequoias of the world. Courage can come in all forms, but it cannot come without action. Somebody hear that. Courage can come in all forms, but advancement and achievement cannot come without action. So you need to activate your activism now. There is no more time to wait. You must vote for folks to tell them we ain't going back to yesteryear. You need to tell them you want folks with your values in the room where all the decisions are being made. See, ladies, you are needed for a time such as this. You are needed in this time to be courageous. in this time to stand up for women as these two did for me. You are needed to stand up for men who stand up for women. You must stand against men who demoralize and disrespect women. Did you hear me? You must stand against men who demoralize and disrespect women. And those women that find it okay to stand next to those men. So today, and in all the days to come, please let your courage shine through. See, what you don't know is we got them on the road. And they are running scared of the power in this very room. And they should be. Together, united, we can accelerate